trying to make it win number 3 here early on. First conference match underway here in Syracuse. And the point is awarded to California.
A little bit of some early nerves. It's been a while since Syracuse has been in the women's building. September 20th, the last time they were here, the last game in non-conference against St. John's.
So it'll be Francesca Popescu to dish it away for California, one of the 7 newcomers for Cal. There are 10 for Syracuse. Skylar George tries to go for the kill for the Orange instead. Desjardins going to be one to watch. Number 55 for Cal, and it is Sydney Waller and the Orange responding.
Mixing up some different looks early on for the Orange. They tried to get McLaughlin started early, but then how about switching sides and Sydney Waller stepping up?
Waller with 16 kills in a game last year against Cal. And this time the block couldn't stand strong for the Orange, so Cal earns the point. Michaela Hayden there on the net. She's going to be a focal point here today for the Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it in almost every category for this Bears team, and that's going to be a big focal point, the blocking on top of the net for both of these teams today.
So there is Peyton Desjardins from Pasadena, California. Her entire family Cal fans. Dad went to Cal. Played baseball there back in the day. Yamada sets up Waller, and it goes a little bit too strong. Cal earns the point, and they take a 3-1 advantage here in the first.
Slightly a bit anxious after awarding her first point. Waller too strong on her second attempt.
Piper Willinger over to Waller, and the block comes up strong for California. Just Michaela Hayden there on the front.
Syracuse just really not in rhythm here. The set, not exactly what they're looking for, and it's a lot of action to Sydney Waller at the moment. The Orange gonna have to try and switch things up.
Cal with the 3rd fewest amount of blocks in the ACC. Syracuse not much better. Willinger to George. She floats it over, but finds Orange on the other side.
Not a typical hit you'd see off the first attempt for Skylar George. A lot of times brings a lot of firepower, but has a high IQ and just poking it over where she sees a dead spot in the defense.
Emma Ortiz, the next one up for the Orange, has had a lot of adversity getting to this point. Has torn her ACL twice coming up through the ranks, but here she is, a sophomore from Orlando. And Hayden comes up short. Syracuse picks up the point. They've climbed back within 1.
It's a classic play that Cal likes to run. Saw it a lot in warm-ups, trying to set up one of the best on their squad, but not in position to give it a good swing.
Ortiz in her 2nd season with Syracuse. And that one goes all right, so that'll be an ace for Ortiz and the Orange. And you got to think that that one might have gone out there on the far corner, but instead it's Dominique Fils that touches it.
It was a heavy swing and just misplayed by Cal, both in communication and then on the attempt to receive it as well.
Steerbu to Fils. Yamada sets up George, who tosses it over, and the Orange earn another. A little run for Syracuse. They take their first lead of the season here at home.
How about this early action here? Emma Ortiz stepping up and getting on a serving streak for Syracuse, and another nice impressive play from George to keep things going.
4-0 run for the Orange. Ortiz again, and that time couldn't keep it in, so the service error for Syracuse. First one of the night.
I mean, really impressive by Ortiz stepping in and finding her rhythm right away. She's only played in 1 ACC contest so far against Virginia Tech, but calls her number today and gives Syracuse a nice boost.
Maeva. And Syracuse picks up the point. Sawana Leea at the near antenna.
It's something the Orange have done so well. They tested out a lot of different lineups in non-conference, trying to get their exact roster ready for ACC play. But even when you switch it up, Ortiz the first one to receive there, and things are still going Syracuse direction.
Nice dig by Ortiz. George from the back. Now Cal sets up. There's Fields. That one got blocked. Again. See if the Orange can brew something up here. Almost an incredible effort from Cal, but Syracuse with a lengthy point, and they go up by 2.
A big fight from both sides here. Syracuse continued to press on Cal, and finally another floater just over the blockers, and Cal hasn't stood tall enough.
Skylar George sends it away for the Orange. And that'll be a Cal point as Steerbu was trying to set up a teammate, and Leia knew it right away that she got a little bit too much in that early on there.
She had a great last possession, main contributor on why that volley was extended so much. Trying to make an aggressive play. That's one that Coach Bake's going to be okay with.
Steerbu does lead the team in assists. The freshman from Romania, actually a 5-time Romanian champion with their national team. And firepower from the outside. Welcome Gabby McLaughlin to the women's building here in conference play.
And there you go, finally unleashed. We saw this so much in the non-conference, but I know the fans have been waiting to see it in ACC play.
McLaughlin, a captain who transferred from Nevada, along with her teammate Taya Maeva, who sets it up. No, she goes for the fake and earns the point for Syracuse.
Right on cue, as you mentioned, the Nevada transfers. The sneak attack with the left hand as well. What a play.
They have got that relationship in order, carrying it from Nevada all the way here to Syracuse in their first season of action. And some Syracuse momentum finally gets stopped by Ashley Lee for California.
Cal needed a breakthrough. Momentum was swinging Orange's way. And a nice setup to an outside hitter. Lee had a lot of space.
Dominique Fills with the serve. Harris Wadi with the snipe. Good dig by Desjardins. Yamada to Maeva to McLaughlin. Oh, Desjardins again. I beg your pardon, Johnson. And Syracuse with the points. It was Sophia Johnson there, the libero for Cal, doing a nice job with a couple of digs. But Syracuse stuck with it, and the Orange earned the point with McLaughlin again, except not going for the firepower this time, Tommy.
Coach Bake raves about her skill set in IQ, an undersized outside hitter, but that's what she presents, has the firepower. But if you're going to go up and block it again, she's able to score in a multitude of ways.
There is Desjardins. Johnson keeps it in, gets it to Peyton. George comes from the back. Maeva to Harris Wadi. And Johnson's all over it right now for Cal. Point for Syracuse.
Johnson does a good job at just extending the volley, trying to give Cal a chance to set up their offense, but not what they were looking for.
So the Orange face a little adversity early on, but they stay with it and lead 11-7 here in set 1. We'll be back in just a sec. Undersized blocking team in the ACC, and that's something they're going to have to work with for the rest of the season.
That's what Coach Bake talks about, presenting a lot of different looks, able to get a hand on it and just throw the other team's offense off.
And so that's something that Syracuse is going to have to work with going forward as the Orange earn the point there. You know, someone that is struggling to get going for Cal is Peyton Desjardins. Had 8 kills in the first set against Notre Dame last time out. Cal dropped that game 3-0, but 8 kills in the first set says something and starts a statement. Desjardins hasn't been able to get going so far, but her teammate does. Ashley Lee again there for Cal on the other side.
That's someone who's going to have to step up for this Cal team. Before the Notre Dame game, she only played 1 set in the previous 6 games and then played all 3 against Notre Dame. She's getting called on early today.
Desjardins leads the team in kills. Johnson picks up the service error for Cal, and Syracuse will take that.
Some self-inflicted wounds. Cal not helping themselves out. Haven't got on any type of streak. Syracuse keeping their lead steady, and now it's one of their best with the ball.
Gabby McLaughlin from Temecula in between San Diego and Los Angeles. But instead, it's Ashley Lee again. The junior from California as well. Diamond Bar, which is east of LA, and the 6-foot outside hitter with a snipe there for Cal.
Yeah, that's just one you can't do much about. Only one blocker the opposite way. Skylar George tries to go up. A nice angle from Lee and finds free space on the floor.
Maeva goes behind to Waller. And a nice push there from Michaela Hayden for Cal. And the Golden Bears pick up the point.
Starts with the blockers up front, and then Hayden finishes it off. Got a touch on Syracuse's attack, and then follows it up with a nice left-hand play.
Francesca Popescu. Here's George, blocked up front. It was Hayden and Steerbu. Hayden again. Cal's in system, Desjardins. Another attempt for Cal to get something brewing here on the offensive end. And they go to Desjardins, and she finally picks up the kill. The team leader in kills in her 4th year at Cal. Gets the Golden Bears a point here midway through the first set.
Yeah, Syracuse just out of position there. They've done a really good job at throwing her off and blocking her angles, but not sided over enough, and a free lane.
Syracuse responds. It's 14-11. Midway through set 1. Another service error for Cal. That's their second. And it comes from Francesca Popescu, who leads the team in both service errors and service aces. And that one goes way awry. An easy point for the Orange.
And there's some of that creativity on the defensive side up close to the net that Coach Bake has talked about. Leia, a nice job at staying with it. Excuse me. Maeva was the one to touch it and keep it going.
Harris Waddy with the serve. And Desjardins gets blocked. Leia and Waller. Leia gets a piece of it again, and the point will go to Syracuse before the play was even over. Seems like Cal is struggling to find their footing just a little bit. They want to get Desjardins involved, obviously, as the team's leader in kills, but they look a bit out of system so far.
They're out of rhythm, and keeping Desjardins off the stat sheet is important for Syracuse. That was a similar story that happened last year. She had a really rough hitting percentage in both the games last season.
Harris Waddy struggling to get Skylar George timed up accurately there. And so Cal picks up the point.
It's one of those that you've seen George be able to kind of adjust to, but ultimately not the set she's looking for. Took her momentum out of it and then leaves it short.
Both teams 2-2 in conference play so far. They'll try George again. Again, just a little bit off, and Cal, for the second point in a row, takes advantage of some miscues over to Skylar George's direction.
Take another look up close. A nice job from Hayden to adjust, get over.
McLaughlin from the back row, and that'll be a point for the Orange. Boy, it's different when it comes from McLaughlin's hands. Just a little bit more of a boom here in the building.
And that's just how diverse her skill set is. She's in the back line and is still able to fire off a shot like that. And I mean, unless you're in the perfect spot, that's a tough one to receive.
Dominique Phils picks up the kill for Cal. Transfer from Iowa. Phils, the sophomore from Pearland, Texas, in the Houston area. teammate Michaela Halen to do the honors. It's actually an ice skater for 7 years before transitioning to volleyball. Leia floats it over. The grad student from Vegas. In her first season with Syracuse, played her undergrad at UC Irvine. And that is someone, Tommy, that Coach Ganesh Ratnam has been extremely happy with lately, is Leia.
And especially in this game, we talked about it's going to be who can win on top of the net. And Leia has had a really good day thus far.
Wasn't always a starter at UC Irvine. Went through some adversity, having to wait her turn, but also worked really hard. And Coach Ganesh Ratnam says that if she did not go through that moment, don't know if she would be a starter here today. Yet to miss a match on the season. Yamada got a piece of it, but couldn't contain it for the Orange. And Phils again coming up with another kill for Cal. Great hustle for the Orange after that hit by Yamada, and Ortiz ramming herself into the volleyball banner there.
As mentioned before, she's had limited play so far this season, but comes in early on in this game, and she's laying it all out there, literally.
Literally, would be right. Maeva finds McLaughlin somehow, but it doesn't come up worthy for Syracuse there. Cal picks up another. Golden Bears staying around with the Orange here, only down by 2 in set 1.
Yeah, and Syracuse done a really good job at cutting off these serving streaks. Cal's also helped them out with a couple of service errors, but so far they've really cleaned it up in the last few points.
Maeva goes behind to Leia. And a kill from Ashley Lee ends the point in Cal's direction. It's just a 1-point game, 18-17. And Syracuse takes a timeout as Cal has cut the deficit to just 1. So the Orange with a 1-point lead, 4 kills already from Gabby McLaughlin coming in from Nevada, one of the 2 captains on the team with Taya Maeva. And we've talked about some of the kills that have already come up for McLaughlin, but the way she's able to hit the ball, standing only 5'8", maybe 5'9" on a good day, according to Coach Ganesh Ratnam.
Undersized, but says she has the creativity, the skill set to be able to find ways to still make an impact. You've seen it against some of the stouter teams so far in the ACC, and now come into a team like Cal where you know you can kind of have an advantage, a team not so, a couple of months that they've been together.
So quite the story there, and Gabby has been so upfront and so open about that, sharing her experiences here out of the timeout, and McLaughlin picks up the kill for the Orange. That's her 5th.
Intensity right out of the timeout. It's just beautiful setup, and that's exactly how you draw it up. Maeva to McLaughlin, that doesn't miss often.
And error on the other side for Cal. Syracuse out of the timeout, up by 3, just like that. It's 20-17. Lana Yamada to do the honors again. Lee, and Cal picks up the point. When the ball touches Ashley Lee's hands, things have been going right for Cal so far.
She came into the game with 12 kills on the season, and here she is in set number 1.
Absolutely leading things for the Bears. It's crazy.
Tied with Gabby McLaughlin on the other side for the kill lead on the game.
Right. Stiraboo over to Lee. Ortiz with the dig for the Orange. George from the back. Syracuse will have another effort here. Boy, Sophia Johnson's all over the place, and the ball hits the referee in the face. So the Orange pick up the point there and go back up by 3.
You got Gabby McLaughlin on one side, but when you have Skylar George on the back line, feed her twice in a row, goes with a heavy hit on the 1, and too tough to handle and just not in the position. Put up a really good match against Notre Dame.
All right, we're back. The Orange with a 3-point lead, and McLaughlin's longtime teammate, Maeva, sends it off for the Orange. George from the back. Maeva touches. Harris Wadi couldn't come up with it. Now Desjardins. And the Orange will have another effort here. It goes to McLaughlin. And that barely lines over the top of the tape as she points down and says, yep, it dropped. Orange by 4.
Sometimes when you catch fire, some of these just land not really how she drew it up. Off the side of her hand, deflects the other way, nicks the net, and then just falls in.
So Maeva, the other captain on this team from San Diego. And Desjardins, rather, Arissa Carbonara has the kill for Cal. Freshman from Cuero, Texas. Population of just 8,000. It's an agricultural town in South Austin. Happens to be one of the top cattle producers in the state, and it's known as the turkey capital of the world.
Wouldn't have guessed. Out of Texas.
Out of Texas. Southeastern part of the state, where Arissa Carbonara is from, the freshman outside hitter. Trying to replace Desjardins' lack of execution so far today. Syracuse can't quite find that. Good block by Cal up front. Lee and Hayden.
Got a couple of talented middle blockers, and they're fired up trying to push the envelope. The bench with some celebrations. Need a serving streak.
Here is Carbonara again. Yamada. McLaughlin floats it. And the Orange will get the point. Bit of a scrappy one there for Syracuse, and they lead by 3.
The Orange have just done a really good job at throwing the Bears off balance. McLaughlin, not the setup she wanted on the last play, ends up getting blocked, and then this time just floats it over, really just scrambling the Cal defense.
Lee pushes to Maeva. It finds Yamada, who sets up McLaughlin from the back. And it took a moment, but they award it to Gabby McLaughlin. And it is set point for the Orange. Syracuse leads by 4. Question, did that stay in? It did. So Cal keeps it alive here in the first set, down by 3. Francesca Popescu, one of 7 newbies on Cal. Maeva with good hustle. George just has to send it back over and see what the Orange can come up with defensively. And they let it go, and Syracuse takes the opening set here in ACC play at home. The Golden Bears. It'll be the captain McLaughlin to do the honors for the Orange to begin set number 2 here in the women's building. And Harris Wadi with the stop up front for the Orange. Syracuse takes the initial lead.
That's the setup that Cal wanted. It was Thompson flying up. Got a good grasp on it, but Harris Wadi, the leader in blocks for Syracuse, gets up.
Sophia Johnson couldn't corral for Cal. And a couple of other players there to try and save it. Sterbu and Carbonara almost took out our cameraman Ham over here. He's still alive though. Syracuse 2-0. Here's McLaughlin. Lee. Boy, she's got some of her own firepower for Cal. You mentioned the limited amount of visibility for Lee coming into this game, but she has shown herself so far tonight.
Clearly the focal point of the offense today. You wouldn't expect it when you look at the stat sheet. Just a couple of sets played in ACC so far. Played all 3 against Notre Dame, got warmed up, and is right to it.
6 kills in the first set for Lee. Already has 1 here in the second set. And Syracuse picks up the point here after that one felt like it wasn't going to come down.
Yeah, a long point, and a couple reception errors early for California. That's what dug them in a hole in that first one. Some service errors as well, those self-inflicted wounds that came back to bite them ultimately.
And a mistimed hit by Grace Agoli, the redshirt freshman from Atlanta. Had 6 kills off the bench against Notre Dame. That was a career day for her last time out after being injured all of last season. But again, another one of those errors that you talk about, Tommy, that Cal just pinning out a forward, and that one is not an error. That's just some luck from Syracuse and Harris Waddy's serve.
Can't do much about that, but a tough one to swallow if you're Cal. Error after error, and then Syracuse comes in. As you mentioned, a bit of luck.
Of Japan. Coach Big grew up in Germany with a big soccer aspiration and love for the game, so he was appreciative of that and knew about Yamada's father playing in Japan. And Syracuse picks up the point out of the Cal timeout, and they have fully stormed here into a 5-point advantage here in the second set.
And it's Sydney Waller back in action, haven't called her since the start of this game. Zaria Harris-Waddy not on top of the net that time, but Syracuse still finding out ways to make an impact.
And Cal comes up short. Syracuse again. By the way, Yamada not in the game right now, but she does have 5 assists so far on the night. And she's really been an anchor for the defense so far this season. It is Harris-Waddy to send it off for the Orange. Syracuse a comfortable lead here in the second set. And Harris-Waddy with great effort there, but couldn't quite get it back over. So 7-2 Orange. And Tommy, this is a Cal team that has played some really, really good competition so far. Already 3 top 25 opponents that they've faced.
Yeah, early on, even seeing that in some ACC action last weekend.
Skylar George gets involved for the Orange. Syracuse up 8-2. Cal has played #1 Nebraska. That's not an easy test.
No.
Cornhuskers 14-0, one of 2 undefeated teams remaining, along with Texas. And then Cal also played USC and Louisville. And the Golden Bears just faltering by the minute here as the Orange take a 9-2 advantage.
Yeah, you face some of those big-time teams early on in the year. It hopes it brings you to be a bit battle-tested when you face an even-level opponent when you walk into a building here at Syracuse. But right now, it's the Orange really putting it together.
See if Cal can stop the bleeding. And the block ain't stopping for the Orange. Taya Maeva there up front. Well, we know she can get the assists, and she can also help out with the block as well.
It's been bully ball on the opposite side of the net for Syracuse, especially when a goalie goes up. For Cal, Syracuse has been right there on top of the block.
Emma Ortiz has had some success at the service line. Here is Lee as she goes over the block for the Orange. Ashley Lee having herself a game here in Syracuse as she exits, and in comes Francesca Popescu.
Finally needed to break into that streak, so what do? Feed it to your hottest hand so far today. Lee stepping up, does her job, and now heads to the sideline looking for a serving streak from Popescu.
7 kills for Ashley Lee. Here is Hayden, and she'll pick up the point for Cal. George and Leia couldn't quite put it back over.
That's another player on this Cal roster who has to get going quick. A senior leader, Michaela Hayden, up there in most offensive categories and on the blocking side for Cal.
There is Lonnie Yamada back in the game. McLaughlin pushes it to the corner. Good diving effort from Carbonara. Syracuse leads at 10-5 over Cal. We are in the second set. The Orange took the first set 25-21. Nico Horning and Tommy Armstrong with you here on ACC Network Extra. It's the ACC opener here in Syracuse. Skylar George trying to get a bit more involved, almost had it there. Catapults right back to her. Here's George again, and she'll come up with almost the kill that time. I thought that was going to be done.
Some
confusion. A little bit of confusion, not just me. And so they're going to award the point for the Orange. Coach Malcolm wondering what happened there.
Yeah, everybody on the court confused. I mean, the play looked like it was over a couple of hits ago with Skylar George. Somehow keeps it up.
Right. It hit the net there for sure.
Cal is challenging, ball in.
So Cal is going to challenge that. So let's see if that shifts the momentum a little bit for Cal coming out of that break. Yamato with a diving dig. And there's a point. Dominique Fills. Cal down by 3.
Syracuse just has not been able to set up their offense in the last couple of points. Skylar George again put in an awkward position. Saw that a couple times in the first set. Had to just tap it over and the Bears get the first crack at it.
And Leia finds the corner of Orange. A little sliver for the Vegas native. And Leia slots a point for the Orange. It's 11-7.
And that's more like it. It wasn't working for the outside hitters in the last couple. Fine Leia in the middle, drew up a nice play, found some space.
Here is Skylar George, and she comes up on the short side of the net. Service error for the transfer before last year from Utah. So this is her second season at Syracuse. Coach Ganeshwaran excited with George's maturity here this season. And her desire was to be a 6th rotation outside hitter in a good conference a year ago. Well, she's come up to be that. Yamada digs. Maeva finds and places it. Goes back to the Syracuse side. And some scrappy play here goes in the favor of California.
And once again, it's just not being able to set up those outside hitters. Had McLaughlin on the near side. Had to struggle to play it over. Too easy for the blockers.
Maeva goes behind to Leia, and it's out. Well, we talked about if that challenge would present a bit of momentum switches here for Cal, and it's looking that way so far, down by just 1.
I mean, big right on the scoreboard. It was 11-5, switched it to 10-6, and that just kept the Cal run going. Service error once Syracuse got it back.
And a big slam. Comes up short. The block from Cal. It's Michaela Hayden and Maria Sterbu there for the Golden Bears. And it is all West Coast right now here in the middle of the second set as Coach Ganeshwaran takes a timeout.
Cal just figuring out everything the Orange have thrown by them, even on the first. Nice setup and
all knotted up at 11. And the Orange take a quick lead. It's 12-11 after a service error from Dominique Fills.
Not the way you want to respond for Cal coming out of the timeout. You had all the momentum in the world, forced one by Syracuse. Now they get a break.
Carbonara shoves it, and that goes off of Ortiz, and so Carbonara picks up the point for Cal. We talked about her being from that small town of Cuero, Texas, the turkey capital of the world, a little bit earlier, with a large population of Rio Grande turkeys. They've got an annual turkey fest as well. So I bet you they're ready for Thanksgiving. About a month or so.
It's on the horizon.
All tied up at 12. See who breaks it here. Harris Wadi has the honors for Syracuse. Someone who's taken a big step forward since the spring with a lot more weapons in her offensive game. After some experience in defense last year as a middle blocker, undersized at just 6'1", but comes up with a kill there for Syracuse. Waller got a piece up front, and the Orange just have to put it back over, but it goes out of bounds, so Cal earns the point.
Awkward possession all around. A block right back to Cal. Just send it over on a couple of two-hand pushes, but it scrambles the Syracuse defense enough.
Here's McLaughlin and the Temecula Thunder here in the women's building.
I mean, the sound is just different when you set up Gabby McLaughlin on one of those erupts throughout the women's building. Perfect placement. There is no getting to that one.
Here's Lee, the other kills leader for the opposition. Lee again. Good dig by Yamada on her knees. McLaughlin from the back row. Make it back to back for Gabby McLaughlin.
Syracuse battling Yamada the setup, and it doesn't matter where McLaughlin is. Flies in from the back line to put it away.
McLaughlin's in double figures, 10 kills on the night. Coming off a 23-kill outing against Virginia Tech and a 21-kill outing against Virginia. Lee. Great dig from McLaughlin, but Lee wins the battle. It's Lee versus McLaughlin here in Syracuse.
It's a heck of a matchup, and maybe not the name we expected coming in from Cal. Michaela Hayden, Peyton DeJardin lead the way, the combo of those two in the kills category, but they have found life from Ashley Lee.
Yamada keeps it alive. Here's Skylar George. It touches the antenna, and Cal wins the point. We're all tied up at 15.
Back and forth action. A ferocious hit here from Skylar George, but just off on the angle.
Hits the red and white just a little bit. Carbonara. Maeva to George. Cal blocks it. It's a battle at the net right now. And McLaughlin can't keep it in. Cal takes the lead, 16-15 over Syracuse.
It was a ping pong matchup back and forth. Both teams just trying to force it past the other. Syracuse opted not to get anything set up, and it cost them.
First lead of the second set for Cal. 3-0 run for the Golden Bears. And they'll give it up just like that, 16-16. We've seen a couple of instances from Cal where they got all the momentum, and then all of a sudden the service error comes up for them, and Syracuse is able to take advantage. We'll see what they can do this time.
It's really nice judgment from the Orange as well when it looks like they've made some mistakes. Still in rhythm with that communication, letting that one go.
Fourth error from the line for Cal, and a block by Skylar George.
You need some names to step up on top of the net. It's a battle that you could win on blocks, and Coach Bake was preaching that they have to step up on some blocks to win today's game.
Syracuse earns the point. Bit of a simultaneous touch there at the top. So the Orange lead by 2 here in the second set. Syracuse won the first 25-21. Zaria Harris-Wadi with the serve for Syracuse. And that one finds the corner. Sawyer Thompson. Haven't said her name much today, but comes up with the kill. The junior from Lawrence, Kansas. Hometown of the Jayhawks. Oh, great dig there from Yamada. Used the top of her hand. And Syracuse wins the point. Just a little bit of separation, up by 2.
Take a look, it starts with that dig, almost a cheeky ace off the top of the net. But a battle from the Orange.
And Michaela Hayden wins the point for Cal, earns the kill as well. Hayden, really one of Cal's top all-around players coming into this match. Cal's leading scorer is the senior coming into today, and again, someone that we haven't said her name a whole lot. She was effective early on and then dropped off a little bit, but Hayden really is what makes this team go. Good save from McLaughlin. Here's George. Oh, she paints it perfectly. What a dot from Skylar.
It's just another crafty outside hitter on Syracuse. Seen a lot from McLaughlin, but Skylar George knows how to get it done in a multitude of ways as well.
George just picked up her 8th double-double the other day against Virginia. 18 kills, 16 digs. She's just at 6 and 3 respectively today. And there is Michaela Hayden for Cal. Mentioning her name a little bit more as of late. Just a 1-point game here in the second set.
And if Cal is going to claw their way back and win this second set, knot it up at 1-1, they're going to need Hayden.
Here's Grace Agoli. And Syracuse with the kill. 2-point lead for the Orange.
Finding different slots to be effective on the offensive side. That time pushes the ball more towards the middle, keeping the Cal defense guessing.
Skylar George has 7 kills. McLaughlin leads the way with 10. Harris-Wadi stands tall at 6'1". What a dig by Ortiz. Here's a chance for Cal. Steerbu behind to Hayden. Good dig by Yamada. And George from the back. Syracuse can't come up with it. Cal wins the point. And it's just a 1-point game as both teams into the 20s.
Would have been a tough point to lose for either team. Both fought, both battled. You saw Emma Ortiz with a beautiful dig to try and get Syracuse to it. But Hayden has stepped up here late.
Zaria Harris-Wadi to make it back to a 2-point advantage for the Orange.
That's part of the risk. Hayden, second on the team in service aces, but she moves to that back line, and that sets up Zaria Harris-Wadi in the middle of the net without Hayden across the way. No one there to stop the attempt.
Here's McLaughlin. Over to Sawyer. It's a fight at the net. And McLaughlin goes just a little bit too far. What a point for the Bears there. A long rally, could have gone either direction, and Cal finishes it off. Climbs back within 1.
Beautiful play all around, and it was just the patience that ultimately proves worthy at the end. Cal doing a nice job at setting themselves up, forcing the pressure on Syracuse, and letting them to be the first to make a mistake.
McLaughlin, again, a lot of power, but can't locate the inbound play on the other side. And well, it looks like they're going to award the point to Syracuse, actually. So McLaughlin picks it up, and the Orange lead by 2 as Cal takes a timeout. Set number 2. And the Orange up by a little bit like that here for Cal. They lost by 4 points in the first. They're down by 2 here in the second, as they somehow keep it alive, but Syracuse comes up with it. Little pinball on the Cal side, and Syracuse again a chance to win 25-21. It'll be McLaughlin to send it away.
Just not quick enough. A really nice serve. Bang bang play for Cal, and they're caught off guard.
Set point for the Orange. Lee blocked up front. And Cal wins the point as the block went out of bounds for Syracuse.
Aggressive play, and one that Coach Bake's going to like to see. His blockers on the right side really standing up to the test, but Cal pulls away with the point.
Here's George, and it goes along the tape and finds Orange on the other side. George goes sky high to win set number 2, and the Orange a commanding 2-0 lead rolling into the third set. Syracuse takes the first set 25-21. They take the second set 25-22, and Skylar George with her 8th kill has the Orange up 2 in the ACC, but that Syracuse has something to offer that others don't have, and that is the people of Central New York, who he wants to represent and make proud of every game here at home for Syracuse. Harris Swati and Sydney Waller will win the battle up front for the Orange to begin the third set, and they lead 1-0.
Picking up right where they left off.
Right. Coach Ganeshranam has been looking to build that bridge between the team and the Central New York fans as Waller flexes on her Orange teammates and wins another point. But he wants to bring up that, you know, a team like Nebraska, you're essentially just a fan when it comes to a program that big. But here at Syracuse, he says you can be a part of the process, you can be an active member. And at the end of the day, it's something that he wants the student athletes for Syracuse to be proud of, whether they're traveling or wherever they may be, that everyone knows what Syracuse volleyball is.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the women's building in terms of building that tight-knit community, being able to relate to the fans more. The tailgate was outside today, everybody on theme, and it's all part of the Orange culture.
Cal keeps it alive. Maeva goes behind a Waller, and she goes cross court. It stays in for a Syracuse point.
Sydney Waller has just done a fantastic job at getting Syracuse out to leads early on in the set. You haven't really seen her play deep into any of these sets, but she started each one of them, and she's made her quick impact.
Waller led the Orange last year with assists, or rather that was Searzant led the Orange last year with assists, which, by the way, we should probably talk about a little bit as the block stays strong for Syracuse there. George keeps it alive. And a push by Carbonara for Cal earns the point for the Cal Bears. So Veronica Searzant, who did lead the team in assists last season, has unfortunately suffered a season-ending fracture in her shin. And she posted on social media the other day that it's recommended for her to heal, and that'll end up allowing her to finish her career since she has another year of eligibility left in collegiate volleyball. And just a big miss for the junior to be out going forward, but it's going to force Sydney Waller and some of the others to step up.
Yeah, she's turned into a Swiss Army knife for this team. when asked to kind of step into that right side hitter role. She's done it, comfortable at the setter, and then does her job up front blocking as well. It's a tough loss for the Orange.
Searzant, one of the longest tenured Syracuse players at this point, with his roster that has featured 10 newcomers this year. Skylar George, one of them that comes back from last season after transferring from the University of Utah. George, rather Leia at the top.
Leia has had her moments of brilliance as well in front of the net. She has owned that middle, especially when subbing in for Zaria Harris-Wadi. When either of them are on the floor, they've dominated.
Leia comes up. Syracuse has 8 aces. Cal has none. And so that has been part of the reason for separation in this game. And the block stands strong for the Orange. Taya Maeva. We showed you some of the numbers a couple of moments ago about the stats so far in this game, and Tommy, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, Cal was winning some of those categories, but really it might be the aces that have been the deciding factor so far.
Aces on the Syracuse side, and a lot of service errors on the Cal side as well. Definitely one of the biggest categories.
Gabby McLaughlin, kill number 12 for the transfer from Nevada.
Talk about the advantage on the serving, and then there's that advantage with the outside hitters as well. Cal just doesn't have a threat quite like McLaughlin.
5-0 run for the Orange. And they'll make that 6-0 run. They go up 9-2 over Cal.
9th ace of the contest, and this one might have been the best of them all. A bullet off of Skylar George's hand.
So 9 service aces for Syracuse. 2 of them from George. It's pretty split all around. 2 from McLaughlin, 2 from Harris-Wadi. A couple from Emma Ortiz earlier on. And Hayden earns the kill for Cal.
Talked about it towards the end of the second set, but Michaela Hayden is going to have to take a bigger bulk of the offensive game plan here if Cal wants to creep their way back in, down 2-0.
And it seems like Cal has just pigeonholed themselves into this early hole that they did climb out of in the second set, but this is not the situation you want to be in early on when you're already down 2-0. Hayden will take it. Back-to-back points for Michaela Hayden, the senior from Buford, Georgia, the Atlanta area.
And it's crucial to cut into this lead now, because we've seen at the end of both the first and second set a pretty tight battle between both teams, but ultimately it was just those leads that Syracuse generated early that kept them going.
And Yamada can't quite contain George with the hustle, and Syracuse gets it back over. How in the world did that happen? Maeva behind. George corrals. Maeva throws it over to McLaughlin. And Maeva touched it last minute. Cal wins the point. Wow. First it was the hustle for Syracuse. Yamada's attempt went all the way around. George runs into the glass doors, keeps it alive, and then at the end, Maeva just touched it.
Knew it right away. Crowd still into it.
And there's a kill from McLaughlin. Her 13th.
Got it right back, wasting no time, and the crowd was buzzing since that incredible defensive play from Skylar George. Up into the kill.
Cal will break a little bit of momentum there. It is 10-6 Syracuse.
Calm the crowd and in a big way. But the fan's not done yet.
Another service error from Cal. That's at 6. Syracuse goes up 11-6. So now the serve flips over to Taya Maeva. And small but mighty. The block comes up strong for Syracuse. Sydney Waller got all of that one.
This is the most in sync and most energized we've seen from Syracuse thus far this season. The crowd propelling them forward, and the play on the court is undeniable right now.
Oh, what a slam from the outside by Michaela Hayden.
Needed here, and it's been working for Cal in the last few times they've set up Hayden. Able to cut into the streak that Syracuse continues to build, and now it's her turn to serve.
Here's Waller again. And that one's rolled out. Syracuse picks up the point. A little bit of back and forth action here in the women's building.
A comfortable lead built early for Syracuse. They'll take some back and forth, and with the momentum they have, Cal can't let this get carried away.
Sawyer Thompson dug up by Maeva. And Cal mistimed all around. Syracuse with another. The timeouts. We saw a challenge from Coach Malcolm earlier on. Cal went on to win a couple of points after that. We'll see what happens here after a Jen Malcolm timeout. Skylar George with her 9th kill.
And just let it continue to ring if you're Syracuse. They do a good job on the defensive side. Beautiful setup from Yamada, and Skylar George slams one home.
Yamada puts it back over. Here's Thompson. And that'll go out for Syracuse, so Cal wins a point. It is 15-8 Syracuse.
Now here's really where you got to settle. You got Steerbu to serve, one of your more trusted players on this squad, although just a freshman has stepped into a big role.
Here's George from the outside, blocked by Ashley Lee. Sawyer Thompson there as well.
Huge way to quiet and perhaps extinguish this Syracuse offense a little bit. Gonna have to do more to really cut into this lead, but Ashley Lee, haven't seen her get too involved on the offensive side in the third set, bringing a little bit on the defensive side.
Steerbu to send it off again. A good diving effort from George. Lee. Cal wins the point off the Syracuse block. 5-point game.
And again, you might have not said it coming into the game, but at this point, if you're Cal, you got to lean on Ashley Lee. She has played incredible through these 3 sets, and she's really getting the team amped up on both sides of the ball right now.
Lee, the junior from Diamond Bar, California, east of LA. And another Cal run ends with a service error from Maria Steerbu. Syracuse back up by 6, and they'll send it away as well.
Up to 7 service errors, 0 aces for Cal.
Fairly even game otherwise. Good block by Lee. Boy, Ashley Lee has had herself a night. 12 kills, rather 11 kills, a block, 2 in it all.
She's the biggest force right now up front for Cal. Presents a size advantage that Syracuse can't match.
And Sawana Leia getting involved for Syracuse, laying it down on the other end.
Giving some life. Grad student for Syracuse, stepping up, has some experience under her belt. She's had her big-time flashes today.
Leia is from Vegas. Went to high school in the Bay Area, though, and then played her undergrad at UC Irvine. And she's now at Syracuse. Emma Ortiz picks up the service error for the Orange. So that's the 5th service error of the night for Syracuse.
Still playing with a comfortable lead, but it's those types of play that keeps Cal clinging on.
Leia slots it home for the Orange.
It's just a dynamic attack, continuously throwing different looks, and that's part of the Coach Bate game plan. The last couple of plays, Skylar George has been stunted, and now it's Leia stepping up.
George sends it off. And George can't quite contain it. Another good hustle play by the Orange as it is Ortiz who gets lost under cover.
Yeah, let's take another look at that one. I don't know if Emma Ortiz was ever going to get to that, but...
Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
You got to love the effort.
Seen that numerous times here tonight. Orange by 5. Maeva over to McLaughlin. Good take there by Cal's Dominique Phils. McLaughlin another attempt. And too far once more. 13 kills from McLaughlin. She's had a very solid night. I know she'd like to have about 2 or 3 of those back.
It's a good setup, and it's the play you're looking for. She hasn't had her fair share of attacks in quite some time, so if you're Syracuse, you want to get her going towards the end to try and close things out.
See if Cal can brew something up here. They go behind to Hayden, and she puts it right on the tarmac. 3-point game.
The biggest differential of the day, the serving side, and that's what it started with for Cal. A nice serve. Syracuse can't set up their offense. Cal first one to get a good look, and they'll take it.
You know, Michaela Hayden just 6'1", but another service error from Cal. That's number 8, Orange by 4. Back to Hayden. Only 6'1", but she has got some hops to get her up there because her ball comes down on that kill. She doesn't totally send it to the back. Oh, a little, look what I found from Maeva. Shoves it over the other side.
What a play. Saw this earlier with the left hand. You know she's a threat on the assists. So just completely catching the defense off guard, and that's what you could bring to the table when you're so good at setting up your own teammates.
Well, Coach Ganesh Ratnam says that Maeva does some things that just don't show up on the stat sheet. Maybe some of those plays and ways that she gets some of those kills at the net serves to that message.
And the biggest part he talked about was her IQ and just being able to read the defense, and you see it right there.
One of the most consistent players on the team, whether it's the demeanor, the serves, the assists, not a lot of ups and downs. Syracuse leads by 4, trying to close it out here in the third. Phils, dug up by Yamada. Back to Phils. The Orange keep it alive. Hayden, oh, just tosses and keeps it in line. What a sneaky play there by the senior, Michaela Hayden.
Yeah, we talked about reading the defense with Maeva on the last one. Hayden, that play's been so successful with her dropping the hammer, but reads Syracuse well and catches them off guard.
Dug up by George on the receive, and Harris Wadi just goes out of bounds. Cal's climbing back again. They're within 2. The Orange sealed the deal tonight. the third ACC win of the season already, would match the entire total of conference wins they had last season. The Orange 2-2 at the moment in ACC play. Back out of the timeout. Syracuse by 2, trying to close out here in this third set. Dug up by Ortiz, and Yamada slides, but not enough. And Cal is within 1.
Syracuse has not figured out how to stop Michaela Hayden on that right side.
Ashley Carbonara sends it off. Here's McLaughlin. And a cannonball from the West Coaster McLaughlin all the way to the East Coast here in Syracuse.
When you need a big point to break a dry spell, you call on Gabby McLaughlin, delivers once again, splits the defense.
14th kill of the night for McLaughlin. Her co-captain Maeva sends it off for Syracuse. It's blocked by the Orange, but it goes out of bounds. And Hayden again there, emerging as a presence for Cal, back within 1.
Yeah, time and time again. That's now 5 in a row when she's taken that position on that side of the net.
Unbelievable.
Same play drawn up over and over, and I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It works. Hayden was really involved early and then sort of leveled off, and she is back here in the third. Cal down by 1, trying to tie it up. It goes off the tape and just out of bounds. Syracuse returns to a 2-point lead.
Big break. That would have been quite the momentum swing to tie it up. Just dribbles off the net, almost lands in, but Syracuse stays out in front.
Yamada. And Sydney Waller with the kill for Syracuse. Her 5th of the night.
So now Waller stepping up late in a set, but it really starts with McLaughlin here. The forces the overpass, and Waller right there receives a gift.
Waller finishes it off. The junior from Franklin, Tennessee comes up clutch again.
Same exact play, different look. Overpass, here you go.
24-20. Set point for the Orange. Meet at the top. Waller can't fight. Rather, can't quite keep it in that time. And so Cal wins the point. All right, Tommy, back to a 24-21 game. We've seen this the first 2 sets. What's going to happen here in the third?
I mean, you got to tighten up if you're Cal, and the biggest thing, keep the serve on the floor. We've seen the service aces haunt them today. You clearly have to put a few in a row in play to give yourself a chance.
Steerbu has goal number 1 accomplished. Waller tries to finish it off, but Sawyer Thompson says not quite yet. So Cal finally gets over that 21-point hump. Syracuse won the first 2 sets by 4. Back to a 2-point game, still set point here in the women's building. Blocked. Lee and Thompson. And we're back to a 1-point game. The fight of the Cal Bears forces Syracuse timeout.
Ashley Lee fired up, and she stepped up time and time again. We saw it on the offensive side in the kills category in the first 2 sets. And here in the third, it's mainly been up on the net with the blocks, going face to face with Skylar George on the last couple of plays, winning the battle both times. And that's what you really want if you're Cal. You don't even have to take a reception. You don't have to set up your offense cleanly. It's just all about defense.
So Cal was down 24-20. They have gone on a 3-0 run, and here are those plays.
And you got to stunt the Syracuse offense early on. So you saw the first one to Harris Waddy in the middle, and then they try outside to Skylar George. Beautifully read by the Bears defense right there to keep themselves in this.
And that being the most recent point. Block assist awarded to Lee and Thompson after Thompson had the solo one prior. So 24-23, Syracuse still in front, and they can win it on this next point. But Cal has had the momentum here in the last 3 points, trying to avoid a Syracuse sweep.
Crucial for Cal to keep it up on the defensive side because they're looking to keep themselves in the game without Michaela Hayden on the floor for this. She's been the source of offense and the play that's worked so well. Now it's time for Ashley Lee to try and step up in her first big-time game.
Maria Stierbu gets it off. George over there at the far side. Lee. And that is off of McLaughlin's hands. Cal has come back and tied it up at 24.
And there she is, Ashley Lee, without Hayden on the floor. Got to go to your next best weapon, and it's been Lee all night.
Fans on their feet here in the women's building. Maeva behind to Waller. And the block stands strong for Cal. A 5-0 run for the Cal Bears, and now California is a point away from sending us to a 4th set.
3 of the last 4 points just erasing Syracuse offense.
Stierbu again. George, blocked. We're going to a 4th. They're up 24-20, and then all of a sudden, you completely lose the 3rd set, and now you got to gear up and then play a 4th. And it starts with an Ashley Lee block over the net.
That battle towards the end of the 3rd set really took a lot of energy out of this building, and if you're Syracuse, you have to jump out of the gate hot in this 4th set. Ashley Lee trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
And they did in that 3rd set. They led 8-2. Cal came back once again, but this has been the nemesis for Cal, is those service errors. It's their 9th. So here's Zaria Harris-Waddy to send it off for Syracuse. Thompson with some velocity, and Cal leads 2-1.
Seen Cal try and set up that play a couple of times throughout this game, and there's been a lot of miscommunication in the middle when they've tried to go to Thompson, but when it's been successful, it's been thunderous. You see it there.
McLaughlin has to go track it down, sends it back to George, and now Cal in system. They go to Lee, and finds Orange on the other side. Cal with a 3-1 advantage.
They're just playing a clean brand of volleyball right now. The receptions off of the attacks from Syracuse have been perfect, able to set up their offense, and Lee has delivered.
Good dig by Stierbu. And can't corral it that time. It's Sydney Waller. 7th kill from Waller.
Yeah, tough to do it 2 times in a row, and Waller again just has kick-started Syracuse in each one of these sets, looking her way to get out to a lead.
Number 7 has 7. Here's Emma Ortiz, has a couple service aces already tonight. And the other 7, Michaela Hayden, comes up clutch at the net.
It's a dangerous game when you have both Lee and Hayden on the court at the same time. It poses 2 threats that you typically don't see from Cal. Lee ends up exiting on this play, but when they fed Hayden, she's come through.
George slams it down. Nice read there by Skylar George, who picks up her 10th kill of the night.
Got to it quick, just so good at mixing up her tempos. In the last couple of hard hits, she's been blocked, and this time just gets to it quick and throws it down.
Carbonara comes up with the point after saving it on the dig a moment earlier.
A battle and a scramble on both sides. It's a tough point for Syracuse not to come away with. They finally blocked that Hayden play on the right side of the net to start that set, but Cal still pulls through.
Here is Carbonara. And another service error from Cal. That is number 10.
If they cleaned up the service errors, this is a completely different game today.
Oh, 100%. 10 errors, no aces. Syracuse has 4 errors and 9 aces. And we're even here in the 4th set.
This time the soft touch works for McLaughlin. Just one of those things Coach Bake talked about. He just wants to get as many opportunities as he can on the attacking side, and especially when it's to number 18, they're going to prove successful.
And if you're just joining us, Syracuse won the first 2 sets, and then Cal stormed back, finished the 3rd set on a 6-0 run. A nice read there from the Cal front line. And it is a 2-1 Orange advantage here in the 4th, where it's been even so far. Sawyer Thompson blocked. Gabby McLaughlin, not only can she get the kills, she can have a presence at the net as well, despite being very undersized there. Look at those hops.
You took the words right from me, Nico. Not only on the attacking side of things, but McLaughlin can get up for a block.
McLaughlin at 5'8". Coach Conashawnham says 5'9" on a good day. And
depends what shoes.
Right, and that pairs along with the already undersized blockers from Syracuse. Harris Waddy stands at just 6'1". Waller there at the net as well, 6 foot. So not the largest presence in town, but Coach Conashawnham really has talked about other ways to try and countervent and circumvent those issues when it comes to the undersized blockers.
Has a ton of different ways to be creative and throw the defense off, have an effect, different array of attacks. And that's part of a deep rotation that sometimes Coach Bake digs into.
Right, more block touches, more recoveries as well. Knew his team just wouldn't have the number of stuff blocks this year, but they got stuff kills. Sydney Waller with her 8th kill of the night, and the Orange lead by 2.
Waller from that right side just splits the 2 blockers. Vision on that.
3-0 run for the Cuse. Thompson. It's out. Syracuse with a point. See if the momentum can swing in the favor of the Orange here. Fills. Caught by George. Ricocheted to Yamada. Now McLaughlin from the outside. And it is just out.
That's one she doesn't miss often. If she can break it through the defenders up front on the net, aiming to go opposite side. Ball goes untouched, but still can't locate.
Maria Stirbu, the freshman from Romania. He's got 3 double-doubles in 4 games. Good effort from Cal, but They go over 3 on the dives. And a point for Syracuse. It's 10-7.
Setting up the outside once again, and it's McLaughlin. Different approach this time, but a common result.
Line drive serve there from Gabby McLaughlin. And see what Syracuse can come up with here. Orange by 4 here in the 4th. McLaughlin again. Maeva behind to Waller. Here's George. And Syracuse picks up the point. Jen Malcolm will take a timeout after she's
recorded career highs in points and kills, 19 points, 16 kills in the first meeting against Cal. She's bringing it once again.
Maeva sets up Waller. Good dig by Carbonara over to Lee. And the Orange can't keep it in. That's a point for Cal. It's a 4-point game here in the 4th. Waller also the granddaughter of 10-year NFL veteran Dave Washington Jr., who appeared in the 1976 Pro Bowl. His career consisted with the Niners, the Broncos, Bills, Lions. So quite the family genes there of athleticism in the Waller family. Syracuse remains strong on that point. Go back up by 5.
To Syracuse, not breaking at all, making it difficult for Cal in the middle on the net.
Harris Waddy had the block for the Orange, also sent it away. And Lee, boy, what a snipe in the corner. Ashley Lee's emergence in this game, Tommy, has been something to watch and something Cal can take going forward.
Yeah, seeing the breakout game in this one. A fireball from the right side. Seems like any time Lee has gone to strike it, just made some noise.
George comes up empty. Tosses off for arm sleeve. Maeva. Now keeps it alive. And they somehow earn the point there. That was scrappy on all ends. And Cal wins the battle.
Take it back a couple of touches. Syracuse trying to force her through the net, and at the end of the day, Leia just wasn't aware the ball was coming back in her direction.
Skylar George on the receive. And Cal can't come up with it there. Syracuse 14-10.
50-50 ball, good effort. It looks like it could have had some distance on it though, and maybe found its way out of bounds. Nonetheless, Cal goes for it, and it costs him a point.
Emma Ortiz will do the honors for Syracuse. And blocked by George. Sky high for number 8.
No arm sleeve, it doesn't matter.
Second block of the night for Skylar George. And a big pound there from Michaela Hayden. Back and forth, despite a 4-point Syracuse lead.
It's going to come one of those moments. California's got to get on a serving streak, but we've known the pressure that has come with that and all the faults. Nice setup here from the Bears. Back-to-back possessions. Just setting up their offense. Carbonara throwing another down.
8th kill from Carbonara. Here's Hayden. And it is a Cal point. Off the block. Syracuse by 2.
Opposite ends from the last play. Tried to deal with Carbonara and then swing it over to Hayden.
Hayden's got 17 kills. McLaughlin on the other side for Syracuse also with 17. And George tries to go down the net there, but comes up on her side. Cal back within 1. Seems like a repetitive motion here. Syracuse takes an early lead, Cal climbs back in, and then an even set midway through. Syracuse extends, and then Cal climbs back. It's been this same motion over and over.
Same narrative, not really the way you would have thought it'd be drawn up, but you knew it would be a pretty even contest with both these two teams coming into it.
Marie Lorio into the game for Syracuse. Saw her early on. Cal has... And a slam that goes to the outside. Cal takes the 16-15 lead.
Well, that's what you're drawing up if you're Syracuse out of the timeout. McLaughlin haven't seen the touches in the last few volleys. You set her up from the back line and puts a good touch on it.
Yamada with the receive. They go to Lorio. And a birthday kill for the 19-year-old.
Yeah, it'd be no better way to end your birthday with leading your team to a 4-set victory. Has a nice strike, and now she goes to the service spot.
Lorio gets it off successfully. Hayden goes down the line, but comes up just out of bounds, and Syracuse wins the point. Great effort there from Hayden, but just off location-wise, and should be Cal 17, Syracuse 16 at the moment, but instead it is the opposite. Cal will take it back though, and we're all squared up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter on the next point. Cal coming out ready to award themselves that point back.
All knotted up at 17 apiece here in the 4th. Arissa Carbonara with the serve. McLaughlin tries to go to the corner. It's stopped by Popescu. And Cal wins the battle at the net after the block went out of bounds by Syracuse. Cal by 1.
Been talking about it recently. That's what has really changed the dynamics of this game. Cal has stepped up with their on-net play.
Carbonara, one of the 7 new players for Cal. Yamada to McLaughlin again. Dug up by Johnson. Ortiz to Maeva. McLaughlin, 3rd time is not quite the charm. Maybe a 4th. And McLaughlin finally wins the battle for Syracuse.
If you're unfortunate enough as a defense to have to face 4 attempts in one volley from Gabby McLaughlin, it's just not a story that's going to go your way.
And Cal has done a really nice job of containing her despite the 18 kills on the night. And the Cal Bears pick up another point. You know, Cal not doing anything too flashy here, just picking up some points when they can get them here a little bit later on. It's a nice float over.
They've kept the defense tight, and they've forced Syracuse into some errors.
Dominique Fills recorded the kill, and now Michaela Hayden records the service error. 11th of the night for Cal.
Continues to be the difference maker. It's keeping Syracuse in it. Typically, we've seen the Orange with a lead this late in sets.
Touches the antenna, and that will be a Syracuse point.
Just seen clean play throughout this entire set from Cal, and now the last two a bit sloppy, picking up a service error, can't quite set themselves up.
Nice take from Maeva. Johnson keeps it alive. And blocked. Harris, Wadi. And of course, you got to credit Syracuse for what they have done at the line. Coach Ganesh Ratnam is really trying to get Syracuse to be more aggressive there. Here's Thompson. Tracked down by Lorio for Syracuse. And the Orange end up getting it out.
That's a good fight from Syracuse on the defensive side, just never really got full possession to give a clean look back to Cal, and that's what Cal has been doing recently, making Syracuse truly work for it on the offensive side, have dipped those hitting percentages down. They've been having much better looks themselves.
Here's McLaughlin, blocked, out of bounds. So Syracuse picks up the point. It's one thing, Tommy, to try and stop McLaughlin's kill, but it's another thing to then keep it in the court.
So tough, and heads up if you're one of the fans, that one screams in to the crowd.
McLaughlin tracks it down. Maeva tosses it over. Good chance for Cal here. Ashley Lee dug up. Lee again, that's off the tape, and the points awarded to Syracuse. It all started with this dig by Maeva. Look at that, on her heels.
Incredible, just putting the body out in front. Whatever you can do to get that ball back in the air and give your team a chance.
Error for Syracuse from the line. They're fifth in the night, and Cal back within two.
You get so close to that finish line, and then you cough a gift up to Cal. Give them one last breath of life.
Here is Grace Agoli, the redshirt freshman from Atlanta. Lorio, her second kill. And the birthday girl sends Syracuse to a set point here in the fourth.
So difficult to start the game, take two sets off, and then your coach calls on you to try and close it out 3 sets later, but Lorio's been up to the task.
Oh, man. When you need it most, a service error for Syracuse. Still a 2-point lead.
Back-to-back as well. Bears hanging on to anything they can get.
Sophia Johnson and Lorio. The jitters caught up to the freshman just a little bit there on the receive. And Cal is within 1. Point for the Orange. They can win it here. Sophia Johnson sends it off. Lorio receives that time. It's blocked by Michaela Hayden. Hayden in clutch time has been undeniable.
The senior, this team's leader, called upon in the big moments.
Even at 24, you got to win by 2. Lorio receives again. Over to Waller. Blocked. Lorio. Chance for Cal here. They go to Lee. And it's not enough for Yamada. Ashley Lee with her 17th kill. And Cal, for the second consecutive set, has come back in some fashion. It was a 6-0 run last time. It's a 3-0 run so far here. 25-24. Cal can win it here. That goes into the crowd. A break for Syracuse. Tied back up.
Momentum change. Loud pop from the crowd, and Emma Ortiz back in a serve. She's had quite the day today.
Ortiz, the sophomore from Orlando. Hayden. Maeva over to... That was the birthday girl, L'Oreal, but Cal comes up with the point, and it's a 1-point advantage.
That play's worked on the left side when they fed L'Oreal in the last couple of times. Syracuse goes back to it, but Cal sniffed it out.
Here is Francesca Popescu. And it's out. Oh, man. When you need it most, we said it a moment ago. It all comes back to the service errors. And this time it works for Syracuse.
Just a brilliant read by Yamada as well. A gutsy play to let that one go.
Talking about pressure on L'Oreal. Gets the job done on the attempt. Yamada goes up to the net for Maeva, and she does that for the 3rd time tonight. Some no-look action from the junior. Orange by 1.
Just poised. Calm and collected under pressure.
And now Syracuse can win it here in the 4th. L'Oreal gets it over. They go to Hayden. Syracuse blocks it. Nice job keeping it alive. Maeva sets up McLaughlin. And Syracuse wins into the ACC home opener.